Sonic and Mario were both the major players of 2D platformers in the 90s. Their biggest games earlier on definitely cemented that. Mario basically became synonymous with video games for a while, leading the charge for Nintendo. And Sonic was his main competition, the biggest competition there was for a long time. Now, it's no surprise that Sonic had a fall from grace, but at one point, Sega had over half the video game market thanks to Sonic. Of course, their fall from the top has been studied by plenty, but that's not what I'm here to do today. Today, we're looking at where everything started for both of them. Are the first 3 Mario games worse than the first 3 Sonic games? This is actually a fan submission by Everyone Can Change Their User, and then this topic got an overwhelming amount of votes by you guys. Now, these polls come out pretty fast after videos, so be sure to have that bell turned on so you can comment your next video idea. I love getting free ideas from you guys anyway, but it's even better when I get to use your ideas, so make sure to be fast. Anyway, enough tooting my own horn here. Let's look at these games one by one, starting with Sonic 1. Sonic 1 was made as a way to combat Big Red Plumber. And you know what? He did a damn good job. The game itself is fast-paced, much faster than Mario 1. It's also way more colorful. I mean, look at the background, bro. Holy shit. I know it also came out years later than Mario 1, but still, there's so much detail in the world. As far as Sonic goes, he can jump and roll in this game. No spin dash yet, and certainly no homing attack. There's 2 acts of each level, followed by a 3rd act that gives you a boss battle. Each boss is against this asshole Robotnik, who's looking for the Chaos Emeralds and using the nearby critters as energy sources for his badniks. The game is a lot of fun, but there's definitely room for criticism. No criticism for Green Hill Zone. That's the perfect zone. There's plenty of ways to go fast. There's multiple different paths that have different sights to see, and some hidden items as well. But the rest of the zones have their own issues. After you just get introduced to the fast-paced nature of Green Hill Zone and how fun it is, the game throws you into Marble Zone. And boy, is it fucking slow. Marble Zone has a pretty cool design. The architecture is pretty to look at, mountains in the background, lava fucking everywhere, and chain spike traps are pretty cool. The problem with Marble Zone is that it halts you. While I do enjoy some variety, Marble Zone isn't what Sonic is designed to do, which is a shame. The design is so fucking pretty. Again, most of the levels have their own issues, but overall, the game really serves to set up Sonic, and it does a damn good job at it. Also, there's 6 Chaos Emeralds in this game, and no Super Sonic. Super Sonic probably wasn't even a concept at the time. We'll get a 7th emerald later, and then an 8th one in Sonic the Fighters, but don't worry about that emerald, we don't see it for very long. Also, the special stages fucking suck in Sonic 1, and I'm not apologizing for saying so. They're hard to navigate, don't work with the idea of Sonic's speed at all, have way too much going on with the moving backgrounds. They're kind of ridiculous. Let's move along to Mario 1 and Lost Levels. How do they compete with Sonic 1? Mario was huge, seemingly untouchable before Sonic, and ever since Sonic fell from grace, Mario has remained in a world of his own. Starting with the first game. Everyone knows this game. Everyone can hum the music from the first stage. I'm confident in saying it is the most iconic video game level of all time. You've got Mario, who can do some pretty basic stuff. Walk, run, jump, kill enemies by jumping on their heads, push shells, avoid projectiles, break blocks, grab coins, all that good shit. He can also get mushrooms for an extra hit, but they're more nuanced than Sonic's shield bubbles. The mushrooms make you bigger, allow you to punch through bricks, but they also restrict you from being able to move through some small spaces. So there are some pros and cons, but it's mostly a pro. The Fire Flower throws fireballs, and the Superstar turns you invincible. All of these are still iconic power-ups. Notice how I didn't mention power-ups in the original Sonic games? That's because they barely exist. Sonic has invincibility and the elemental shields, but they took until the 3rd game to make. And while they're pretty good and decently nuanced, Mario's are so much more iconic. He starts to become known for his power-ups. There are 8 worlds in Mario, each one having 4 levels. Think of the worlds like zones from Sonic. The 4th level in each world ends with a boss battle against Bowser, which you're doing to save Princess Peach. There's also Luigi, who's the 2nd player. He's just differentiated by color. There's no real difference in gameplay. Also, as you search for Princess Peach, you're told by this asshole Toad that she's in another castle. In the meantime, you find yourself underwater, underground, in the sky, or on the ground. There's some good variety in this game in setting up the world, and it was revolutionary for its time. But by today's standards, it's pretty basic. I mean, so is Sonic 1, but still. Oh, and there's warp pipes that let you skip certain parts of the game. My mind was blown when my dad showed me these when I was like 8 years old. Anyway, moving on to the lost levels. They're exactly the same as the first game, but really fucking hard. And that's pretty much it. Extra levels that'll challenge you. Okay, everyone knows what Mario 1 is. I'm gonna stop beating a dead horse here. How does it compare to Sonic 1? Sonic 1 is very clearly more visually advanced than Mario is. It came out years later after all. But Mario 1 is a hell of a lot more nuanced than Mario's abilities and how to platform. Instead of being about speed, Mario's about precision and platforming and knowing exactly what Mario is capable of, then doing what you gotta do. It's of course up to taste, but I would say I like Mario 1 more than Sonic, despite what my Sonic collection makes it seem. Mario 1 wins this round. Real quick, if you're liking the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before my birthday, so help a brother out. Moving on to Sonic 2, this game is absurdly good. It improves on practically everything from Sonic 1. The levels are more streamlined for Sonic's abilities, and he's given the spin dash here, finally. The first level is Emerald Hill Zone, which is clearly trying to rip off Green Hill Zone. But you know what? I'm gonna let it. Green Hill Zone is more iconic for being first, but Emerald Hill is a far better design for Sonic in a first level. I don't think the background is as fun as Green Hill, but it's still a very pretty scene. The level is a bit more hold right to win kind of thing than Green Hill is, but that's fine. It's Sonic and it's a first level. After this, you're met with arguably the most iconic level from this game, Chemical Plant Zone. Wowee, this level is just a better version of Marble Zone. It still gives some of that variety of slow moving from Marble Zone, but the slow moving is more rewarding as immediately after, you're able to move fast. These winding pathways are so cool to look at, and immediately rewarding the player after wading through this is honestly pretty nice. In Marble Zone, you would just move slow and move on. Come on, man. Although the threat of drowning in purple goo in Chemical Plant Zone, ain't it? And the ending is so good. Fighting the Death Egg robot, then hurling down towards Earth as the Death Egg is destroyed is pretty spectacular. Plus, did I mention we got Tails now? Tails is the big part of this game. They really wanted to go with twos, so they even gave him 2 tails. Incredible work, Sega. The stages have to be reworked with Tails in mind, so he can fly, which sets him apart from Sonic. Also, there's a 7th Chaos Emerald. You get Super Sonic, and the special stages actually make sense now. There's Sonic running and collecting rings, not whatever the hell this was. It makes so much sense for Sonic. I mean, Sonic Mania's special stages are still the best, but this is a close second. Alright, but how does it compare to Mario 2? Super Mario Bros. 2 is a wild game. It feels like it shouldn't exist. No, really. It's a reskin of another game called Doki Doki Panic, which came out a year prior to it. It's really weird, dude. They basically just slapped Mario on top of this other game. Now, it's a debated topic on whether this is a good game or not. Some people love it and some people hate it. Hell, some people debate on whether this should even be considered a Mario game. I honestly think it's pretty cool. It's a really different experience than Mario 1, so I can see how some people might get turned off, but I still think it's really interesting. Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad are all playable. The 4 of them all have the same dream, telling them that their dream world is in peril. They enter the dream world through a cave, beat the big bad guy, and Mario wakes up again, wondering if it was all just a dream in the first place. We literally never get to find out if it was, but it's pretty clear it was just a dream. I'm sure that's how they'll write off having such a weird game. Either way, this time you can't kill enemies by stomping on them. You either need to pick something up and throw it at them, like a turnip or a bomb, or you can pick up the enemy directly and throw them. This is a mechanic that sticks around a little bit. Each character plays differently too. Peach can float, Luigi can jump higher, Toad is the fastest, all that good stuff. The levels themselves have lots of interesting choices. Instead of going from point A to point B like the first game, oftentimes you need to find keys to move on. They also got rid of the fire flower, a real dick move. Mario 2 also gives us Birdo, a familiar face. She's a villain in damn near every single level. The levels in Mario 2 feel like a damn maze. You gotta find these hidden doors to get extras, have to find keys, there's vines to climb, areas to go down. It's just not as straightforward as Mario 1. Also, the level design is worse, but that's a Doki Doki Panic's problem. Also, the bosses here are definitely more fun than Mario 1. Picking up projectiles and throwing them actually feels way more in line with Mario's character. Precise platforming kind of thing. The bosses in Mario 1, which are all just Bowser, kinda suck. Overall, Sonic 2 is definitely the superior game. I think Mario 2 is better than a lot of people do, but there's no way someone could ever say Sonic 2 is worse. So, Mario definitely loses this round, by a lot. And he only won the first round by a little, so things aren't looking too good for him here. Before we move on to the last round, let me know in the comments which franchise you guys think is gonna win, because the third round is definitely much harder than the last two. Next up is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'm combining the two because I'm not gonna bother separating them. I did the same thing with Mario 1 The Lost Levels anyway. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. A huge game. 14 zones, each with cutscenes and story. This game picks up right where Sonic 2 leaves off, with Sonic and Tails chasing Eggman to Angel Island after the fall of the Death Egg. We come to find Knuckles, who has been quickly convinced by Eggman into stopping Sonic and Tails. He even steals their Chaos Emeralds, bastard. Sonic and Tails fight Knuckles more than once, have to find the Chaos Emeralds again, can turn super and hyper, and have a last dramatic fight in space against the powered-up Death Egg robot. This game was real ambitious, and they definitely delivered. Except the special stages. I know it's controversial, but I do not like the special stages from Sonic 3. Like, they play fine, but I never look forward to them. Certainly better than Sonic 1, but not great. Oh, and there's an endless version where you plug Sonic 1 into Sonic and Knuckles. Crazy work. You can also play as Knuckles in Sonic 2 by plugging Sonic 2 into Sonic and Knuckles. This shit is crazy, man. The levels themselves are pretty great too. Growing up, I loved Flying Battery Zone. It was my favorite from the game. It just feels so cinematic. Being up in the sky, hanging on at times, it's awesome. And snowboarding into Ice Cap Zone, the look of the sprites and environment, come on. Plus, Knuckles has his own story that takes place after the main game, where you deal with the leftovers of Eggman's robots. Adding Knuckles gives us yet another way to play Sonic. First Sonic, then flying with Tails, now gliding and climbing with Knuckles. They really could have given Sonic more than just elemental shields for variety. Sonic 3 and Knuckles is one of the greatest games of all time. Hands down. I think about replaying it all the time. These games got better and better as time went on, with the first game being the worst one. Alright, enough stroking Sonic's ego. How about Mario 3? Mario 3 is fucking insane. Much like how Sonic 3 improved on everything from before, Mario 3 does just that. However, it actually does more. Because of how different Mario 1 and Mario 2 are, Mario 3 doesn't just improve, it takes the best from both games and brings them all together. Streamlined levels, 4 stages before the finale, power-ups and jumping on enemies from the first game, with picking up shells and throwing them from the second game, all brought together in a beautiful package. It's this game where we're introduced to the Koopalings. Mario and Luigi beat up the Koopalings, get back the magic wands they stole, beat up Bowser, and save the day. The real good stuff of this game is in the gameplay though, because wow. And the level design, holy shit. Sometimes you're doing a little bit of this, sometimes you're doing a little bit of that. Oh, and don't forget about being able to hold on to your power-ups. That's just absurd. Unfortunately, they didn't keep the player swapping from the second game. It would have been cool to swap back and forth between different gameplay styles. Either way, they perfectly refined Mario for the third game by taking every good idea from the first 2 games. Although that makes it more like Mario 1 than 2, it does get some of the quirks from the second game, and that's pretty spectacular. Comparing Mario 3 to Sonic 3 and Knuckles sequels is a tough one. Both games are absolutely incredible. They're both long and introduce new ideas as well as revolutionize old ones. But if I had to say which one is worse than the other, it's probably Mario 3. Sorry, Mario fans. 2 L's in a row on my channel. Mario 3 is more inventive and resourceful. It's such a different game than before. Sonic 3 just feels like a natural evolution of the series. But damn it, it's a really good series. And this is the peak of it. Sorry, Mario fans. Maybe next time. If you liked the video, remember to subscribe. Like I said before, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by July. So be a pal. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. See you later.